Hey guys, welcome. Sorry, to another episode in the deep playthrough of Gran Turismo 5. Such a fun little tune, this, by the way. Really, the musical tunes in the main menu of this game, I find them terrific. It's really uplifting, innocent, little funny, quirky tunes. So I'm all there for it. Anyways, we are going to continue where we left off. We are doing the AMG Driving Academy. Previous episodes, I redid the intermediate level events that we already golded in the before last episodes. But I wanted to also overtake two cars that I saw just when passing the finish line, when getting the gold. I saw two cars just in front. I was like, okay, it was a messy run. I can also get gold, including overtaking those cars. That worked. And then afterwards, my time was 7 minutes and half a second or something. Then it was like, I will do it again and get into the sixes, like sub 7 minutes. So I basically did that event 3 times gold. That's why it's a deep playthrough. We are going through it thoroughly. But now we are going to do the... So this is intermediate. Yes. That one we did. And then we are doing the advanced. And this is in a 300 SL, an old Mercedes, a slower one. On the dry, this is in the SLS AMG Mercedes, a faster car, also on the dry on the Nürburgring. These two are both in the same car, so the 300 SL and the SLS AMG, slow car, fast car, but now it's in the wet. So I'm actually really curious how that is in GT5. And again, like the preceding two events, like all of them, you have 4 sectors and then a full lap. So let's read the text. Now try driving sector 1 under wet conditions in the Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Coupe 54. The main thing to focus on in wet conditions is your driving line. The surface of the road is worn smooth by cars passing over it every day, which makes the area around the ideal line very slippery. The answer to this is to try to take a middle line throughout. Alright, so I assume they mean in a corner. Normally you go out, in, out, but here it is middle. And again, it will be funny. We will be watching the guidance video. And that's the only place where this emulator still has some bugs. In the guidance videos, often the cars just totally glitch out. They start flying, they clip through the environment. It's pretty funny. Alright, let's see if it glitches out.
Now try driving Sector 1 under wet conditions in the 300 SL Coupe 1954. The north loop of the Nürburgring is especially slippery when wet, much more so than your regular permanent circuits due to the old age of its road surfaces. Of course, you need to be very precise and careful with the operation of steering, accelerator and brake, but what you really need to focus on when driving on the Nürburgring under wet conditions is the driving line. There is but one answer to this, a middle line. This is because the surface of the track is basically polished by the daily driving on the track, and the area of the record-breaking racing lines will be the most slippery parts of the track. If you drive to avoid these lines, you'll naturally end up driving in a line that connects the middle parts of the corners, the safest zones to stick to in these treacherous conditions.
Alright, I am going to listen to it once because I was a little bit distracted. I was really waiting for the car to glitch out, but it's actually not glitching out. So, because I found it a pretty interesting, I always like these guidance notes. Oh. Is he now redoing his guide? No. Alright, let's listen to it one more time. Just curious, because I didn't get everything he said. I heard him, but it went in my one ear and directly out the other. I didn't really grasp what he was saying, so to say.
Now try driving Sector 1 under wet conditions in the 300 SL Coupe 1954. The north loop of the Nürburgring is especially slippery when wet, much more so than your regular permanent circuits due to the old age of its road surfaces. Of course, you need to be very precise and careful with the operation of steering, accelerator and brake, but what you really need to focus on when driving on the Nürburgring under wet conditions is the driving line. There is but one answer to this, a middle line. This is because the surface of the track is basically polished by the daily driving on the track, and the area of the record-breaking racing lines will be the most slippery parts of the track. If you drive to avoid these lines, you'll naturally end up driving in a line that connects the middle parts of the corners, the safest zones to stick to in these treacherous conditions.
Alright, so middle, that's the message. Here we go. Alright, I don't know which button I mapped. I wanted to say I mapped the windscreen wipers too. Sorry, I'm just messing around with the buttons. Pretty sure I'm pressing the right button, but I think you cannot disable the wipers in this test. It looks pretty immersive, I have to say. Also the droplets, they're quite big, and I do like it. I mean, it really makes it more difficult. Here we go, no more kidding around. Oh. Alright, I need to brake a bit earlier in that first corner. Holy shit, we do have a lot less grip actually. So that was a little bit messy. It's really hard to keep to that middle line that they're promoting. Windscreen wipers are not doing that much, honestly. Still see a lot of droplets. It is not so much the grip level that is tricky. For me, it's really the view that's quite obstructed. Alright, how much do we need to improve? 2.5 seconds. That should be doable because it felt terrible how I did this. It was. I'm now really used to that SLS Mercedes, and of course braking points are totally different. It's a different car and it are different conditions, so it's really, you have to relearn it. Which is quite interesting. You really get a very good grasp on the Nürburgring. Different cars, different conditions. It's such an annoying corner. We'll just continue. Nope, we'll not continue. Not sure why I shifted down there. No reason. That was a little bit messy. Here we go, no more kidding around. Come on, we can do this. Totally missed my braking points. And my steering in points. Man, I'm really screwing up this corner too much. First time around I went on the grass, spun out already there. We actually still have quite some grip. Probably I'm going way too conservative through a lot of these corners. And now for one of the most trickiest corners on the course, I find these two right-handers. If you go too fast, you go wide on the grass. Very easy to go too slow, and that will immediately affect your speed on this long straight here. And again, I'm fucking going wide here. I need to brake earlier. But it was enough. Alright, it's not by a big margin, but I will take it. Thank you very much. Alright, I'm watching the replay also of the events, just because I find it a cool setup. Old Mercedes in the rain on the Nürburgring, but also just as a little break in between the events. By the way, today I compared a Gran Turismo 7 replay of the Nürburgring with one from Gran Turismo 5 with the previous episodes. It was not totally similar conditions, etc., but I did get a feel. And yes, Gran Turismo 7 has more advanced effects or detail in the environment, like little grass patches, etc. And higher resolution. But again, I do stay with my initial opinion that I find the Gran Turismo 5 replays, they're one, much more enjoyable to watch. I don't know if it's the camera angles, it looks much more like a movie. But two, I find them more realistic looking. It's the whole color tone which is much more true to life. I find Gran Turismo 7 too often has shots that it does feel a bit look gamey, even though there's a lot of detail. It is just the color palette I find a little bit yeah, not as realistic as how this looks, for example. This looks, I find this really well done. So honestly, I prefer the, I not, honestly, just in general, don't need, I try to be honest all the time, so that's a needless adverb, or however you say that. But yeah, I find them much more enjoyable and better looking. It is what it is. It's two console generations older, but to me, also some of the shrubbery, it just looks better than in GT7, I find. I'm not saying GT7 looks bad, it looks amazing in its own ways. But yeah, I'm just all for Gran Turismo 5. It's also the type of cars that you see the replays in, which are much more road cars, much more variety in the car roster, except Gran Turismo 7 just has too many supercar, hypercars and race cars. There are too little regular, quirky road cars there, in my view. But anywho, and also the tracks in Gran Turismo 5 are much more interesting. In Gran Turismo 7 they're too wide, they're too focused on online competitive play. And if you drive them in a single player, then it's so boring, it's so wide. Like a lot of those real race tracks, so to say. The original tracks that you have in this game, much more of, they are just much more engaging, if you ask me. Rome, London, Monaco, the old version of, I forgot, the track in Switzerland that was recently added to GT7 as well. God damn it, what's the name? Not Schwarzwald, but wow, how can I forget that? So annoying. Sorry. Just sometimes lately I'm forgetting. My short-term memory is a little bit. Maybe it's age. I don't know. All right, we have level 20. The Gran Turismo Rally Advanced can be played. All right, let me try one more time. Eiger Nordwand, of course. So that track in this game, I find it better than in the GT7, same as Deep Forest, or the track that they added and totally reimagined it. They made it like a Californian highway. Original one is much more engaging. Long story short, the track selection is way better in this game, I find. We were over here, second stage. In Sector 2, you'll be passing through the most dangerous part of a wet Nürburgring, the high-speed left-hand corner known as the Metzgesveld. When it rains, water runs across the track here like a river, and driving over this at high speed can very easily cause your car to aquaplane. Not just here, but throughout the track. The golden rule is that the better a corner's visibility, the more dangerous that corner will be in the wet. Alright, don't really understand that. Because it's better visible, you take it faster and then you're more prone to spinning out or something? I have no idea. I don't see the link between visibility and grippiness in wet conditions, but maybe that's just me. Probably the more visibility, the faster you go and the easier you spin out or something.
In Sector 2, you'll be passing through the areas considered to be the most dangerous on the Nürburgring under wet conditions. At first glance, you may think that the technical section continuing from Kalmhard may be the difficult spot, but it's actually the high-speed left-hand corner, Metzgesveld, that will pose the major problem.
I think that's
when it's raining, water will run across the track like a river, and driving over it at high speed will make the car aquaplane. That's not all. Being a clearly visible corner, this is a prime spot for driving hard in dry conditions. This causes the surface here to be especially worn and polished by the cars driving over it, much more than any other parts of the track. In turn, this area becomes extremely dangerous under wet conditions. The golden rule here is that the greater the corner visibility, the more dangerous that corner will be in the wet.
Alright, and the car is glitching out like a madman again, pretty funny. Now it's actually a very plausible or logical link between visibility and grippiness. Because indeed there's a link between visibility and speeds, but it's not so much the speeds that you take it in the wet, it's in the dry, higher speeds, so the track is being polished more, the tarmac is flatter because cars just race over there much faster. And that polished surface makes it more slippery in the wet. So that there's like, yeah, that's the logic. More visibility, higher speeds in the dry, more erosion, more polishing of the road surface means in wet conditions it is slippier, less grip, less grippier. Less grippy. Anywho, that corner, that left-hander, I don't think it is that first left-hander that I said like, you have the foxhole, we go down and then you go up and then there's a high-speed left-hander. I don't think it's that one. I think it is the, there's another high-speed left-hander later on in this sector. We didn't see it because the camera also glitched out because the car was in limbo. But yeah, I think it's the second fast left-hander that is probably tricky. Anyways, here we go. Man, those windscreen wipers really don't do a lot. I have no idea what the grip level is actually. I'm just going with the flow. Alright, it's the left-hander coming up now, I think, is what they meant. So we have to be here, this one. God damn it. Alright, screw it. There was not that much grip over there. Man, these windscreen wipers need to do a better job. Just testing it out a bit. I screwed it up already in that preceding corner anyways. Here we go, no more kidding around. was a pretty epic spin. The tire squealing sound went on for a little bit too long only. It appeared a bit buggy. Screwed up that corner. Up that corner. This is a pretty long sector, god damn it. Cannot imagine that this is a silver time. It's probably bronze. Ah, nice. Almost 1 second to spare. Was not expecting that to be a win run. It was messy. I hit the barrier at one point. I don't even remember where, but where the hell did I hit the barrier? Yeah, I think just near that building, that hotel building. But we will see it in the replay. But I almost, was that in this run? I think I almost spun out here, right? I didn't really see that. In that, where was that? Was it in that left hand corner or was it in a previous attempt? Don't even remember. Yeah, over here. I think I went pretty sideways. Ah, looks pretty good. It looks pretty straight here. Probably I'm mixing it up. Or was it over here? Yes, it was over here. Pretty cool. Can you imagine doing that now in this car in a rainy Nürburgring? I think it will be like, I don't know, $10-20 million car. Then just driving for whatever you're worth on a slippery Nürburgring in the rain. That would be pretty mental. By yourself. Alright, this corner I pretty much screwed up. Right, I think over here I may hit the barrier. Yes, there it was. It was not even that bad. From in the car it felt much worse. And there we go. Right, sector 3. Out of 4. It's time to take on sector 3, which goes from a high speed into a technical section. The most dangerous part here is the area between HUD and Brook Ras1ution, as well as being slippery due to the rain. The road surface here is particularly old, making it even slippier than you would imagine. To avoid accidents, you'll have to hold off here and not drive as hard as you would elsewhere. Right, if I only knew where 8 was, or 8. Brook Ras1ution, I think, is the YouTube corner.
Sector 3 goes from the high-speed section into a technical section. Here you'll need to watch out for the area between HUD to Brook Ras1ution. Obviously the rain makes the surface slippery, but the road surface in this area is especially old and makes the section unbelievably slippery. It will almost be like driving over ice, and the driver must sharpen his senses to the very limit when driving through. To avoid accidents, the drive through this section should be kept modest in comparison to other sections.
All right. Wait, I will. Oh shit, my telephone is empty. Oh, sorry. I have to reseat my chair cover. My mobile is empty, otherwise I would have looked it up where HUD8 is. Maybe I can. Yeah, I will do that later. Let's just continue. Not continue. Indeed, restart. Right, apparently it's super slippery. You know what? I am going to do it. 1 second. I'm gonna. Hopefully this doesn't mess up the emulator, because there's all kinds of USB stuff I have to do to get the steering wheel to work with older drivers, etc. So I really want to disable as much USB devices as possible for my PC when playing, but I am now, because otherwise it will keep lingering in my mind, I am now quickly connecting my phone. Hopefully it doesn't screw up. It's now connected. Let it boot up for 1 second. Then we quickly, just also, it's part of the experience of this AMG Driving Academy. We really want to get some next level knowledge of the Nürburgring, so it would be nice to know where the HUD8 is. H8. One moment. I'm logging into the phone now. Alright, give it 1 second. I do like it in this game, especially that guidance voiceover. It's much more immersive. In later Gran Turismos you don't have that. I don't think also in earlier, maybe also not. I don't think it's in GT4. So that's really nice that they invested in that. It makes it much more fun. And it's also much, you're being taken seriously as a player. It's not like those infantile, childish NPCs in GT7. Like that Sarah, that's only popping up if you're failing 5 times in a row. Oh yeah, don't forget to take a break. That's the only thing that she can say. There's no relevant information there at all. There are some car designers in GT7 that give some notes on design of certain cars. I like that. But the guy also with his annoying grin of the menu books, that is just a totally different vibe than in this game. In this game, it is just, it increases the immersion and the experience. In GT7, the NPCs, what they did, there's not even a voiceover there, but you see like dialogue boxes, totally distracts me. It really is terrible, that choice, like so many design decisions of GT7. Compared to, for example, this one or earlier Gran Turismo games. Alright, here we go. H8. Then we do Nürburgring. Nürburgring. Where is that? The H8 is the highest mountain in the Eifel Mountains of Germany. Alright. But then where is that corner H8? So it is just a hill, I guess. Noordslijve H8 Anvaart. Images. Oh my god, where the hell is that corner? 1 second, it is... Alright, give me 1 moment, because now it's becoming a little bit of a project in itself, and it's actually quite difficult to quickly... Alright, here's the carousel. I don't see any... Why does Google give the carousel... Google is also... Everything is regressing, not only games. Search engines as well. Why does it give results for the carousel when we're googling H8? Alright, and now I have a map with pretty much all... there it is. Pretty much all the corners, I found it. So we go Bergwerk, that is that corner that I think is coming up. Then we have a long straight. Then we have that hairpin to the right. Then we have the carousel. And it is basically the little stretch after the carousel. And then... No, wait. Yes. And that indeed, I can imagine actually... Yeah, it is between the carousel and Brunchen, the YouTube corner. I can imagine that actually is what they said. That is nice of that guidance notes. It's not only like, oh yeah, you have to take an out-in, out line through the corners, like super obvious information. They actually give some relevant, nice tidbits of information. What they said is that H8 area of the Nürburgring is like the oldest piece of road. So it's the most polished from the tarmac is really flat. From all the years of racing on it, and that is what makes it so more slippery than modern tracks or even other parts of the Nürburgring itself. So that is really nice to know. And indeed, I can, if I would have to guess an area of the Nürburgring that is older than other areas, I would probably that one indeed seems logical. It somehow feels like an older stretch of the circuit. So that's a nice little learning moment that I'm probably spending way too much time on and overthinking. But anyways, here we go. Gotten through there quicker. Probably through here as well. I have no idea whether I'm really overdoing it with braking. Probably. We are now entering that HUD 8 area. Which is over here. This is the HUD 8. I think this is supposed to be the highest part of the circuit. Still feels somewhere that you still have quite a lot of grip actually. It's really hard to, oh shit, over here you don't have a lot of grip. It's hard to gauge. Yeah, we need to be a lot faster. We need to be 5 seconds faster. That's crazy. But it's hard to gauge, like, okay, where will you immediately spin out? And where can you just keep on the power? It is a bit tricky. Oh, sorry, I have to do something. And to turn off my mobile phone screen. I was distracted. Alright, 5 seconds, that's quite a lot, that we need to be quicker. I can take way more speed through there. Again, I'm going way too slow through there. And the car is really not so much spinning out. It's more like drifting its wheels. It's not like spinning in a circle or anything. They say it's super slippery here, but it doesn't feel that slippery actually. maybe here a bit. Screwed up that one. Alright, nice. Was not expecting that. We don't have a lot to spare, but yeah, win is a win, I would say. Little break. I thought that was it. That was not it. Or was it? Where the hell are we? I know, but here we are. Final corner. Alright, last sector. The final sector consists mainly of high speed and full power sections. In the first half, as in dry conditions, you'll have to be careful not to lose control over the bumpy sections. But the most important thing to be wary of here is the right hand Galgenkopf corner just before the long straights. It's incredibly easy to oversteer or understeer here, so you'll need to control your acceleration and speed extremely carefully. Alright, give me one moment. I'm also just checking out Galgenkopf. Where the hell is that? Alright, Galgenkopf is... yeah, that is basically the last corner before the long straights. That was not a corner, I would say, that strikes me as the most tricky one in wet conditions. Hey, is it not wet anymore? It looks dry. Ah, now it's wet.
The final section consists of high speed and full power sections. In the first half, the uneven surface can cause you to lose stability in the same manner as during dry conditions, and it requires care. What is really important to watch for here is the right-hand Galgenkopf corner immediately before the straight. This also applies during dry conditions, but especially under wet conditions, the surface is slippery and can cause understeer or oversteer. If you understeer and your driving line goes too far to the outside, you won't be able to accelerate properly at the corner exit, and it will greatly reduce your speed on the straight. On the other hand, if you step on the power too early, it will cause oversteer and your car will lose corner stability. Although it is important to maximize your exit speed out of the Galgenkopf, you must remember to take it easy in wet conditions.
Right, god damn it, again, there was one sentence that I wanted to hear and I'm just not listening carefully, so it went in
the
one
final
ear
section
and out the
consists
other.
of high speed and full power sections. In the first half, the uneven surface can cause you to lose stability in the same manner as during dry conditions, and it requires care. What is really important to watch for here is the right-hand Galgenkopf corner immediately before the straight. This also applies during dry conditions, but especially under wet conditions, the surface is slippery and can cause understeer or oversteer. If you understeer and your driving line goes too far to the outside, you won't be able to accelerate properly at the corner exit, and it will greatly reduce your speed on the straight. On the other hand, if you step on the power too early, it will cause oversteer and your car will lose corner stability. Although it is important to maximize your exit speed out of the Galgenkopf, you must remember to take it easy in wet conditions.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so also the car was glitching out again, pretty funny, but yeah, that Galgenkopf corner, that is indeed also in the dry. I was not thinking it was particularly more difficult in the wets. Like I could imagine other sections being more affected in the wets. But in general, also in the dry, I do have to say it's always a tricky corner, because indeed you really want to maximize your exit speed there, because there's a mega long 2 kilometer plus straight after it. So every mile that you carry extra speed through that corner, you benefit from that like for 2 kilometers. So, but having said that, it's indeed very tricky. It's like an uneven elevation. There's a little bit weird camber in the road. It is just a tricky corner in general to take optimally. I never really feel that I'm taking that corner as it should. So it's really easy to screw up, and indeed probably even more easy in the wets. But we will see. Here we go. I thought that this would be one of the more trickier corners in the wets, which it actually also is. But I do have to say, this driving model compared to GT7 in the wets, it really is easier, because the cars alright, I'm not sure what I was doing there. I should shift down. But the cars spin out less easily, I find. You do have a little bit that tire squealing, so wheels that are spinning. But it's not like you're immediately turning the car spinning the car around. Man, poor visibility, god damn it. And too early on the brakes and then too late steering in, totally screwing it up. Fucking hell, man. It really is not that hard, it's just me screwing it up. Come on. Fucking hell, man. Almost making the same mistake. Stupid. Right, I'm driving really bad. This is the Geldenkopf corner. Alright, I cannot imagine this is a good time, but we'll see. Times are not that strict in the sectors. At least not in this car. In the SLS, the times were a little bit more strict. God damn it. Alright, we only need to be a little bit faster. We were missing 3/10. Here we go, no more kidding around. that corner, I keep screwing it up, and I don't even think it's worth continuing. I don't think I'm faster than previously, but let's just go and let's continue anyways. Alright, in the pockets. The times really are not that straight, so that's pretty nice. But now we still have the full lap. Before the full lap, let's do a little mini break. Pretty epic. The horn sounds pretty time period correct, I would say. It's amazing how minuscule the rear lights on cars were at the time. I was pressing the flash the light button over here, but I don't really see it flashing in the replay. Not sure how that works. This car really looks like a tank, but it's actually more nimble than you would expect. It's also quite predictable actually. It drives really pretty fun. Alright, full lap attack. Here we come. Previous one in the 300 SL, the lap time was really not that strict. The goal time. It's time to try a full lap of a wet Nürburgring Nordschleife in the 300 SL. Just as when it was dry, it's important to get a feeling for the rhythm and timing of the track as a whole. But the ideal line will be different in the wet, so the rhythm will be different too. If you want to get a fast time here, you need to completely forget how you approach the track when dry and develop a whole new rhythm for the wet conditions.
Try doing a full lap on the north course of the Nürburgring under wet conditions in the 300 SL. It's important to learn the overall rhythm as you did in dry conditions, but the racing lines will be different, so the rhythm needs to change accordingly. You may initially tend to take it on in the same manner as you do in dry conditions, but if you want to drive fast, you must completely set aside these rules and intentionally build up a rhythm for wet track conditions.
Oh shit, yeah, we have to overtake other cars as well. Which is actually fun, because it's much more engaging. Oh wow, that other car is also glitching out. So all these cars are glitching out in the guidance videos. But it's more engaging with other cars on track. Here we go. No more kidding around. Let's do this. Right car. Oh, fucking hell. That really was not my mistake. He went basically too much to the left. Slower cars are supposed to keep right. So it's basically, I think that button is just high beam, low beam, I think. It's not flashing. Fucking hell. Stupid. Screwing it up over there. God damn it. Alright, I'm really losing a lot of seconds. Oh my god, it's so annoying. Because I would like to make a bit of progress. And because of these mistakes, very good chance I have to do it over. Fuck me. Alright, I need a break. I find it so... This is the third time. I'm gonna start now. I'm not gonna start over. But I find it so frustrating to bump into them. The sound, the fact that you lose all your momentum. I had it 3 times in this race already, I think. I wanted to say each time I'm bumping into a car, I'm gonna start over because that's how much it annoys me. But actually, I'm not going to do that. If I'm all at the end, and sometimes it's not even your own mistake if you bump into them. If they really leave you no room. Like this guy was supposed to stay on the right. At least that's the rules on the Nürburgring. Slower cars on the right, faster cars can overtake on the left. This guy just went to the left. But yeah, if I'm way at the ending section of the track, then I'm bumping into somebody, and it's not too bad. Like if it is really like on purpose or in real life, you would also never would have recovered. It's like super unrealistic, like cheating your way through to the win. Then I will for sure start over. But if it's like a regular bump, I will probably not start over. But that being said, I really hate them. I hate them, especially on this track, because it takes so much time to get back to where you were. That we are losing like, I don't know, 4 minutes now or something. Anyways, I'm taking a little break because yeah, otherwise I'm getting overly frustrated from those bumps. We'll be back in I don't know, a minute or so, and you can just forward if anybody is watching the video on YouTube. See you in a sec. Alright, let's do this. No more kidding around. No more bumping into cars. Here we go. Less fast than previous round, I think. I overtook that car earlier previously. Fuck, it's so hard. I cannot handle these bumps. I simply cannot handle it. Up that corner, fucking hell. Oh my god. faster, less fast. Overtaking him way later than earlier attempts. Much braking. Oh, no fucking way, man. So annoying. Driving terribly. Fuck me. I thought we were on a different part of the track. Oh my god. It is just, I couldn't see. What the fuck can you do? Fucking hell. Lost all my speed on the high speed section. Totally overbraked. said it was super slippery over here, but actually I don't find it that slippery over there actually. At least that's what they said in that guidance video. Not going fast at all, but it is what it is. Right, that little slide there cost me a lot of time because it's just before the straight. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Otherwise I think I would still have some chance for an average time. Alright, in the pocket. Yeah, so the times are really not that strict. There is another car over there as well. That is what I did in the previous episode. Then in the faster car, Mercedes, I saw that while getting a gold medal, I still saw two cars in front of me, and I redid the race just to also overtake those cars. I could do that now as well. I saw a car just after passing the finish line. There was a car like 30 meters in front. I'm sure if I will keep at it that I can overtake that car, because this attempt really was not the best. The only reason I got gold is because the time is super lenient. I was like 9 seconds or something off the, I think we got a 9:34. Yeah, so 9 seconds or 8.5 seconds. 8.3 seconds under the goal time, but that is only because it's such a lenient time. I could redo it and try to overtake that other car that I saw all at the end after the finish, past the finish line. But I will leave that be. Maybe now the faster Mercedes in the wet event is coming up. Maybe I will, if I dare indeed again close to the finish line see a couple of cars that I could have overtaken, then I will probably put in the extra effort. But for this one, I will just leave it be. So that's a very long-winded way of saying that it's not a perfect run at all by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, it's a gold and I will take it for now. Did I hit the barrier over there? Wow, going, rewinding, it goes back really quite far actually. Right, in this downhill right-hander section, I went wide. Did I hit the barrier? No, I don't think I did. I do think I did so before, in an earlier attempt. sure. Over here I could really easily have spun out because I thought we were already over here. I was mixing it up. I thought we were on the long back straight already. But we were not. I was already like, hey, this corner is a bit sharper than I expected. And then this right-hander suddenly came up. Actually, didn't lose too much time despite that mix up in my head. I did lose a lot of time getting past this car because visibility was basically zero with the rain on my windshield and then also the spray from behind his car. So I do think I avoided bumping into him by braking, but yeah, the effect was exactly the same. It was just being totally held up and losing all your speeds in a very important high-speed section. So if I would have taken him like I wanted to, keeping my speed, losing not that much momentum, I do think I could have been much faster overall. I think that this really cost me like 4 or 5 seconds maybe, and then we also could have probably taken that car that I spotted after crossing the finish line. But yeah, we'll just leave it be. There will be enough hard races coming up, I assume. It's not like I'm shying away from a challenge. Just look at the previous episode where I did the same event. I goaled it 3 times just to up the challenge each time. Alright, mental note also for the run in the faster car. This HUD 8 section, in my view, is not that slippery as what the guidance note said. It was pretty doable. Alright, Brook Ras1ution, the YouTube corner. The spin over here also really costs me time. Over here. At least, for my feeling, it really didn't help with the acceleration out of the corner. Corner exit speed was impacted. I think over here I pressed the high beam, low beam button. And from inside the car you do see with the high beam that there is just a stronger beam of light, but you don't really see it from the outside. Maybe it's a slightly different color. Yeah, it does seem a little bit more white. The headlights, like a stronger white, more powerful beam. But I will test that out later. Can we test it out now? Let's test it out now. 1 sec. Shall we go? Yeah, I don't know what the best way is. I don't know what the camera angle will be of the replay. Right, let's put it over here. And then we will be here. This is what happens. You see the lights, actually it almost turns off, it seems. I think this is low beam, this is high beam. So high beam was default. Then this would be low beam. I wonder whether there's any difference from the outside looking at the headlights, or is it only just that from the inside you see the stronger light beam? I don't know. Let's test that. And also when we go in reverse, like now, I'm curious whether that will activate the reverse light at the rear. Hopefully we have a good camera angle. Fuck me. Nope. This is exactly not the camera angle that we wanted. God damn it. Alright, that's really stupid. I have no idea whether this is the correct camera angle, but alright, I am now flipping the headlight button, keeping it low, and now we will also drive in reverse. And test whether the reverse light lights up. Ah, fuck my life, man. Fuck my life. Alright, I don't see anything changing on the ground floor. I do see now the light beam, the guardrail lighting up differently. And now, do we see any rear lights? It could have been there. Alright, I do it one more time, but the with the rear reverse lights. Fuck me, I don't know. I need a camera angle where the car is viewed from the front. Alright, I will drive a bit more and then I have to remember where the camera switches over. Alright, this is taking way too much time, sorry. It's actually already right at the start. I can do it. Alright, it's right at the start or where the first right curbing ends. That's where I need to stop. Let's just try right at the start. Alright. Pressing high low beam. And now I am pressing reverse. Alright, let's see if that did the trick. One moment. Because the reverse lights could be below the bumper, that you cannot see it from just the camera is too close on the car to fully capture the rear side. So we will check that in photo mode, and I just connected a controller for that. Alright. No, I do see the guardrail changing brightness, but I don't see anything in the headlights itself. And now we are driving back, so we will do photo mode. We will walk around. No, I don't see any reverse light lighting up here. I also don't see a reverse light. I see two reflectors. I see two indicators and I see two red lights, but no white light. Maybe it could very well be that it was not a thing back in the day. Wait, let's make that a learning moment. So we do 90 1954 300 SL reverse lights. I think it was just not mandatory at the time. Well, you can buy a lot of 300 SL lights, just parts. Rear light unit that you see, the right or the left one, cost $500. We do 300 SL rear, and then we do images, and then let's see how it looks in real life pictures. And we see, I don't see any reverse lights. So then we do in general, not related to the car, when did reverse lights become mandatory? When did they first appear on the rear? The reverse lights became standard on all cars from March-April of 1967, with the point of introduction being quoted by body number. But that's on a specific car. When did reverse lights become mandatory in the UK? You need to test reversing lamps on vehicles first used from September 1st, 2009. Nah, that was way earlier, right? When did reverse lights become mandatory in the US? It wasn't until the 60s when federal safety regulations pushed new standards that backup lights became mandatory. 1968 or so. Do old cars have reverse lights? Here, bad answer. All cars are mandated to have one reverse light. No, that's not true. Not all cars. Old cars do not. Alright, so let's, I'm again overthinking it, but it's fun just checking out the details in the game. I'm sure if a car does have a reverse light, that it will be activated in-game. We will check later with another car. But it's a little bit of a pity that you don't see any headlight external view changes between low beam and high beam. At least I didn't see any change. Here, if you look at the blue, you see it now flickering between strong beam and less strong beam. Ah, no, you do see it very faintly, something changing in the, I think in the headlight unit as well, but just very faintly. Let's check that again. Yeah, it's very faintly from, it becomes a bit more brighter. Alright, fun. It would also would have surprised me if they wouldn't have put that detail in the game, knowing Polyphony Digital, which is really amazing level of detail. Anyways, that was a very long, prolonged light beam checking the fierceness of the light, or the strongness. How the hell do you say that? Light beam capacity checking section. Anywho, we have completed this one. Oh wow, the Mercedes, the SLS. I thought we would now be doing the SLS in the wet, the fast car. But we are under leveled for that. But we do have level 21, so what we can do This one we already did. We can do the advanced Jeff Gordon NASCAR school. That's pretty cool. And also the advanced Top Gear test track in the Kübelwagen. Alright, so those are 2 events that we can do before continuing with the A-Spec. Then later on we will be doing the advanced one, or expert I think it is, expert of the AMG Driving Academy. And then we have still 3 special events to fully do. More rally related, I think. But yeah, that concludes it for this episode. We'll continue in the next one with the Jeff Gordon NASCAR School Advanced event. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you there. For the meantime, don't forget, always do keep on gaming. See you later.